All right, we should be live. Yes, we're live. So I want to do this live stream because the one I made previously was removed. I didn't think that they would care, small YouTube channel, but apparently they do. So I'm going to do it over, and I'm going to get into a little more detail about what I think about the newcomer, Wang Cong. Now, consider me on the Wang gang. I am on the bandwagon. I'm on the hype train. I'm riding the Wang hype train, officially. Because, one, she comes out dressed as the Joker. Now, as I explained, this is a way for fighters to say, look at me. Look at me. Hey, look at me. And in fighting, you're really not, that's a risky thing to do. Because you risk being made a fool out of if you carry out with all these antics in the build up to a fight and go in there and get whooped. And especially when you say the things that she has said, just like all other so-called trash talkers, I've gotten behind each fighter who's decided to speak with confidence. Any of them that has opened their mouths to do so, I jump all over it. And she has. But she's done more than that. Like I said, first of all, she was talking before this. But we'll get to that. But she was talking before this. But she comes out with this, hey, look at me. And this is also a way to sort of disrespect your opponent because it makes it look like you're not taking your opponent seriously. That's a show of supreme confidence. Like, hey, I'm gonna have a ceremony. I'm gonna treat the face off like a ceremony. So you paint your hair, you dress up like the Joker. And the Joker, understand what the Joker is. It beats everything else, right? How powerful is the Joker in a game of spades, if I remember spades correctly? I'm not sure what rank the Joker holds in other card games, but if I remember correctly, in spades, nothing is higher than the Joker. You throw a Joker out there, you take the hand. Isn't that right? If I'm not mistaken. So, this is like arrogance in some people's eyes. Others say just confidence, whatever. But she's coming out as if she's the baddest. Hey, I'm the best, I'm the baddest. And she's literally saying it. She's talking some good talk, if you ask me. And I'm going to skip some of the things she said and go down here. She said, I didn't even take a close look at the flyweight division because I don't care about those other fighters. I'm the best. Huh? She said, what? That's what she said. I didn't even look at these other chicks. I don't know who fight in this division. I don't care. I just want to jump in and get my title shot. That's what she said. I just want to hurry up, get in the rankings, and get my title shot because I'm the best. I didn't look at these other fighters. I don't care about. Remember, that's something that Floyd used to boast about. Like, I don't even watch film on these other fighters. I don't care what they do. All I'm worried about is what I'm going to do to them once the fight starts. Huh? So I'm Wang gang already. Like, what? Tell me this is not motivation to watch all of her fights. And she's also, as you saw on the thumbnail, said I got better striking than Valentina. What? She said what? Now she got the funny thing is she got clout to say that. Some unknown newcomer saying that, man, please. Nobody pay her no attention. And if we did pay her attention, we just talk about how silly and delusional she is. The thing about Wang Cong, she got clout to say that. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Nice spin in the flyweight division. Okay, she said, I believe that she can take the fight to Grasso again. So she kind of has hopes that Shevchenko wins the fight so that she can take Shevchenko's shine. Maybe she doesn't feel like Shevchenko has really lost her shine, even though she lost these two fights. Or at least lost the title in the first fight and only fought to a draw in the rematch. Sounds like she doesn't feel like Shevchenko has totally lost her shine. So good for her. She's trying to talk a potential fight or rematch against Valentina, only this time in MMA. She said, I believe she could take the fight to Grasso again because we competed in kickboxing and I know how good she is and I believe in her. Okay? But look at this. She said, you guys only know I beat Shevchenko in kickboxing, but you don't know I'm a Sambo world champion, a boxing world champion, and a kickboxing world champion. I think comparing Valentina Shevchenko to me is that she has more experience. But I took some time to compete in boxing. I believe my striking is better than hers. If she takes the fight, I can beat her anytime. Okay. Now, some of us who've been around a while, we know you're not supposed to talk like this. You're not supposed to talk like this. You got other animals in the division besides Shevchenko. Flat out, you're not supposed to talk like this. Not with a division this strong. I mean, you dare talk like this at a time when the flyweight division is stronger than it's ever been? You see, that's how that's what she's conjured up. Now, who's this woman think she is? And she's not taking nobody seriously. She's having fun. She's goofing off. She's dancing on her way to the cage, shaking her butt. I'm dead serious. How many of you have seen the video? There's one video of her dancing to the cage. And once she got to the cage, turned around and shook her butt cheeks from left to right over and over again. Yes, she did. She spun around a few times. And she just recently created social media, or at least Instagram. She just recently did this. Now, for those of you who haven't checked it out already, I'll share it now. She just started this very popular 45 weeks ago. Just last year. So out the gate, she's coming out with supreme confidence. She's not taking nobody seriously. She's just having fun. And saying I'm the best at the same time. I'm not even worried about the other fighters in the division. Do you know who some of the other fighters in the division is? Some killers. Some straight killers. Now, you got to understand, this is as serious as I'm making it. Because China don't play. When you represent in China, they want you to They strive for excellence. That's why they were so hard on Yan Xiaonan. She explained it. They really frown on losses and flaws. And look at how she's coming out. Look at how she's just bursting onto the scene as the Joker. Like, that's another way of saying I'm the best. I don't know how many people caught on to that. I don't care if you throw a king out there. That might be why she called out Casey O'Neill. Joker, take the king. I thought that was weird too. I'm like, why would she call out Casey O'Neill of all people? King O'Neill. Joker wipes out the king. Real clever. She throwing little mental, and I'm telling you, I like it. Because I've gotten bored with people at my age. Anybody who can wake up a new area of my brain, I welcome that. And she has. And she chiseled. Look at her physique. She looked rock hard. At 120, this is a solid 125. Okay, hey, I'm just saying. The striking looked real. It looked for real. Watch as many fights as I can. But the thing with UFC cards, they're in that 4K or that 8K or whatever. And you just get a better look, a better feel of a fighter's speed. Have y'all noticed that? With a lot of these lower level cameras, you don't get a real sense of how fast or hard of strikes you're looking at. So maybe that played into it. But the thing is, she's doing something that's almost forbidden. That's why so many fighters come out and they're all flat. They're not being braggadocious. You know, they're quiet, do my best, that type of approach. They avoid talking like this and behaving like this like the plague, the majority of fighters. But it's only the fighters who take that risk that reach greatness if they're successful. It's the Ali blueprint. Ali started all of this. And I'm telling you, every generation you've seen another version of Ali. It is the craziest thing in the world. And to see it, it was a trend that he set that only strengthened with time, if you ask me. Because there are many fighters who do this, who don't get the recognition or the acknowledgement that they're following it. And it's straight up a blueprint. If let's say if she get the title, this will increase the chances that she is recognized by maximum number of people. You know, it's a way to boost your brand. You boost endorsements and all that kind of stuff. It's not offensive. You know, Joker, Pepsi will reach out to her, you know, stuff like that. Not a problem at all. I welcome it. You Joker, you saying you the best? Okay. That's a bold thing to say in MMA too. Because it's hard to stay undefeated in MMA. Very hard. But I would imagine if she lost, she would take it, you know, smile at it and keep going as usual. But to see anybody, any fighter who's undefeated, talking like they're the best, saying that they're best, yeah, I'll whoop Shevchenko. The fighters in the division other than Shevchenko, I don't know who they are, don't care. I would just want my title shot. I'm the best. What? Okay. I'm listening. I'm watching. And look at her. Look what she posted. How it started, how it went. This is the type of fighter she is. How can you not get behind fighters like that? Somebody who finally got the nerve to add some excitement or some entertainment. Oh, can't show that. Somebody who's finally starting to talk. And it's not about being disrespectful. Because she's not being disrespectful. It's not disrespectful to say that you think you're the best. But that talks things up a bit. That's why UFC gives you more money when you can do that. They're far more willing to endorse you. Conor followed the same blueprint. Floyd followed the same blueprint, the Ali blueprint. That's what it is. And when you're doing it, you have to be undefeated at the time. You can't be popping off at the mouth like this and you took several L's. I mean, you can, but you're going to be looked at as a serious joke talking about how you're the best. You're the best. Bragging about your accolades, how you're a world champion in kickboxing and boxing. People look at you like you lost your mind. You're sitting there with 10 losses in 20 fights. You can only talk like that and it be respected when you haven't been defeated yet. And when you're winning your fights by stoppage and your UFC debut is a one punch, if that don't happen again this year, that's knockout of the year. That's what it is. If no other girl knocks out a fighter used with one punch, that's knockout of the year. That's what it is, man. So like I said, these other fighters in that division, they felt threatened by that. They feel threatened by that. This chick who got the clout of saying, hey, I beat Shevchenko. Yeah, I beat Shevchenko. I beat her again. And I'm so good. I don't do no research on these fighters. Haven't even looked at them. Even though she called out Casey O'Neill. And I think she did it out of respect because Casey O'Neill is ranked number 15. Say, hey, I want to be ranked because she said that. In one of her statements, she said, I just want to be ranked. Hurry up and get ranked. Here it is. I just looked at the rankings board and I think it's a good fight, Cong said. I just want to jump in the rankings and get my title shot. So out of, I guess, maybe respect, humbleness. Look how she, that's pretty humble. Let me get number 15. Right, but she had Casey in mind. And I think that was icing on the cake. Called out Casey O'Neill. But to say you haven't looked at these other fighters, man, who's she talking about? Kareem Silva? I ain't worried about you. Araujo, huh? Who? Araujo, who? Natalia Silva? Not worried about you. Andrade? Even Catlin. Rose Namajunas, former champion. I didn't even know she was in the division. Is that what you're saying, Wayne? Macy Barber? Nope. Aaron Blanchfield? Nope. Manon Fiore? She bored by the whole division. Really? I'd like to know what Wei Lee think about this chick. Because Wei Lee's been talking about fighting the flyweight champions. I don't know, man. Her strikes look hard. I don't know how many times people watched that fight. Her punches and kicks look mighty hard. Lot of force. I've been saying that whoever is riding on above average power and speed, that'll take you far in WMMA. Real far. So yeah, I'm entertained. What is this? Hi, Mick. I will prove your... You know what else she said, like you saw in the thumbnail? Before the fight, she said, I'll win. I'm crazy. So, she got a sense of humor. Let's just take a few seconds to appreciate this here. That's one thing that's not common with the women, a sense of humor. That's why we enjoyed Joanna so much. At least why I did. A lot of times Joanna was very funny. some of her antics was actually funny. Ali was seen as funny. And you got a sense of humor, man. Some people are paid millions just for having a sense of humor. They're called comedians. That adds to your allure, right? He said, welcome to the UFC. She said, I told you. Mick is the matchmaker. And he waited till after she got that knockout victory and said, welcome to the UFC. He was like, okay, prove it. After she said that, I will prove your choice is right, he waited. And after the knockout, welcome to UFC and thank you. Thank you emojis. Listen, everybody at 125, I think respects a character like this. At least I can. If you're not, you might be kind of a hater. Might be kind of a hater. She don't seem to overdo it, Know how to be respectful. And she's talking to her. Does she speak English? Or is she speaking in Chinese? If she's speaking in Chinese, then it's funny because she don't care whether you speak Chinese or not. She's going to speak Chinese. Or if she's speaking English, that's funny. I don't know what she said. Does she speak English? I don't know. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let's get some audio. Let's get some audio popping of the post-fight interview. I always like to listen to the fighters, what they got to say after they sit down, right? Sit down. Kind of calm down a little bit. I don't like the immediate interview right after the fight. I just really don't care for it. I like after they assess it a little bit. Now y'all about to hear some audio here. And we're about to see if she speaks English. No, she don't speak English. So was she speaking in Chinese to Victoria Leonardo?
很平.
Yeah, I've expected this kind of situation, so I'm very calm.
You expected a quick finish from her?
你预料到你会很快终结他吗？
必须的，每一个都是。我抓住机会就会 KO 他。
I can take any chance to finish her.
Can you talk
Really? Okay.
to me a little bit about the face-off? You were saying some things to her. I couldn't hear everything that you said. What were you saying to her in the face-off?
你能跟我们讲讲你们称重对视的时候，你对她说了什么吗？用中文说就行。
嘿，宝贝，我就是一个疯子，你无处可逃。
I told her, "Hey, baby, I'm crazy. You have no place to hide."
Okay, she crazy for real, man. She's being genuine. I think she's crazy for real. Just looking at her, it's at least her fighting energy. That seemed genuine. I can believe that. No, she don't speak English at all. But I haven't even listened to some of the things she said. And she's got some big talk popping off here. Just from what I've heard so far, it's kind of, it's like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. Because it's too easy to lose in MMA. It's too easy to lose. And look, think back of all the fighters we've seen that looked dangerous, went on to get sparked. They looked impressive, went on. I mean, most of them lose. Most of them lose. Remember Aaron Blanchfield. Manon, she hasn't lost yet, but in the third round, she looked bad against Rose. And to go 2 more rounds like that would have been rough. That would have been rough on her psyche and the possibility of a TKO stoppage. Huge gash. So yeah, it's like to speak as if you're dismissive of the now strongest division. Wow. Yeah, Dana White's gonna be all over that. And she's probably lying. You know, she probably has taken a look at these girls. But it don't matter if she's lying or telling the truth. You're trying to say you're no match for me. And she said that in Chinese. She's talking to this girl in Chinese, knowing full well Victoria Leonardo don't speak Chinese. Yeah, she is kind of crazy. Got to be kind of crazy to do that. Now, as I pointed out in the other video, she got above average form. Not just above average form, above average balance. When Victoria, look at Victoria Leonardo. She almost looked clumsy in there. Like a lot of these girls, they almost look clumsy. But she was kind of under pressure early from Victoria, and she never lost her balance. She never lost her balance. You gotta look at stuff like that. A fighter's balance is important. That's a huge sign of how good they are. Right? Without proper balance and form, you can go from a level 10 fighter to a level 6. You don't have the proper delivery for your power, for your punches or kicks. And Leonardo, being susceptible, but she believed in her finishing ability. That's the thing. Now, it's early in her career and she already got mostly finishes. Think about that. 6 fights. I think, what was it, like two decisions? Something like that. Mostly finishes already. Now, against Casey O'Neill would be in all kinds of trouble, if you ask me. Because, one, she liked to strike for whatever reason. Talking about Casey O'Neill. Why she's opted to focus on her strikes is beyond me. And this was hilarious. This is iconic right here. To have your knocked out, concussed opponent looking at you like this after the knockout is kind of crazy. And then the next thing that she saw was the ref jumping in between. That's a meme right there. Wait a minute. Hold up. That's a long video, so I don't want to show I don't want to hear the whole thing. I like to get snippets anyway. This is what I'm talking about. One punch knockout power is almost unheard of for women. Andrade got a one punch knockout. That looked unusual. And Carolina wasn't as concussed as Victoria. But what other one have we seen? Andrade? Who else? It's hard to think of any, because it's so rare. We've seen the one kick knockouts, but really not many of those. Shevchenko. Who else? I remember there's a few of them. There's a compilation on my old channel of some one strike knockouts. They do happen, but it's very rare. That's why if you find a compilation of female strikes, one strike knockouts, that's why they look so amazing, and unusual. So a one punch knockout, that's what I'm saying. All those girls in the division respect that, no matter where they are in the division, because Manon ain't knocked nobody out with no one punch. Shevchenko hasn't. Grasso hasn't. None of them have. So, they're forced to respect that. right? So we'll see if she gets her wish. I thought Casey called somebody else out. I'm sure Casey don't want to. I don't think she's willing, or she don't want to fight down again. She just fought an unranked fighter, didn't she? Santos was not ranked. And Casey was ranked before that fight. She didn't move up at all. So the last thing she want to do is fight another unranked fighter, especially like this. So I don't think she's going to get Casey O'Neill. We'll see. I mean, if Casey wants to fight, I'm sure this UFC will probably give it to her. And if she were to win, they might move her up as if she just defeated another ranked fighter. But she going to have to fight the likes of like Jasmine Jasudavicius. Or maybe Ariane De Silva, formerly known as Ariane Lipski, or something like that. Now, here's the thing. If she get whooped by one of these ranked fighters, think of how much crow she gonna have to eat. Her fans are not gonna, she's not gonna hear the last of it. That's the risk you take. You go on and get whooped, like, hey, maybe you should have did your research on the fighters. Maybe you should have looked at the ring. That's the first thing people gonna say. You know, people get creative. They're gonna say all kind of things. That's the risk you take. Hey, she willing to take it? You got my attention. But yeah, strong division, man. You better be looking at these. I honestly hope she's not serious with that. You better be looking at these fighters. At the very least, you better do your research if you have to fight them. But then, you know, most fighters don't do that. Most fighters, they'll, some of them even train for different fighters in the division before they're even announced to fight those fighters. Like, they'll train for other fighters in the division long before they have to fight them. Yeah. So most fighters take a good close look at the fighters in the division. And if you've been fighting as long as you have, and you're just now about to go to UFC, I would expect you to do that. But if she doesn't, hey, that's crazy. And if she's serious, doesn't research fighters and goes on to whoop them, that's crazy. That would be insane. Whether you researched them or not, whether you train for them or not, that would be crazy. So she got a lot to prove. She got a lot of words. She got a lot to live up to. Okay, you've been popping off at the mouth. This is just the risk you take. Popping off at the mouth. We're going to see if you are as good as you are. And we're going to watch every single fight. And this is what everybody's going to do. Just not everybody's verbalizing it. And even if she starts to look bad, this is what talking like this does to you. Even that's going to backfire. People going to be like, aha, see, you almost lost. Aha, you ain't invincible. Now she pretty much got to look like Superwoman. Wow. Not even Wei Li talked like that. Wei Li said, hey, yeah, I want to be the champion. I want to be the general of the division. Test my skills against the best and stuff like that. Who else was this reckless? She is mighty reckless with the tongue. I don't even think Joanna was talking like that. Maybe she don't really realize what she's saying. Maybe the English, language barrier, you know, and she probably phrased it differently if she was speaking, but I don't know. But hey, and I want more of this. I want to see more of this. One strike knockouts. Y'all know this is what a lot of people want to see. They badly want to see it in these fights. One strike, if not a knockout, where the opponent is very hurt. on wobbly legs. That is what will evolve. If you start seeing more of that with the females, that will evolve the females. People will be forced to pay closer attention and to show more respect to it. Simple as that. That's all it is. Yeah. So look, be honest. I hope she climb the ranks and take the belt, because everybody got losses except Manon. Isn't that right? Everybody took an L at this, and Natalia Silva, but she does have losses. Just not in the UFC, Natalia Silva. And that's pretty much the case with everybody. If they're undefeated in UFC, it's just UFC. But Manon even has a loss on her record. She ain't completely undefeated, right? She lost her very first fight, something like that. Yep, she lost her very first fight. I don't even have to look. So, even Karine Silva has lost. There is no completely undefeated fighter in the division. Isn't that right? None. Not even Wei Lee. So, she got a chance to make a kind of a type of wave that no other girl can make. You got more clout when you undefeated. You just do. If you ask me, you got more clout than a fighter who's just undefeated in the UFC. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You've been broken before. And if you basically got the same style in the UFC that you had before you got in the UFC, yeah, you're not going to be seen as invincible as a fighter who's just truly undefeated. So, yeah. You got to look at that too. Those are a lot of tough fighters to be dismissive of. You might want to be careful with that. Some of these highlights, I can't show any of the videos. I think that's what got my previous video taken down. But boy, oh boy, she was out of it. This arm was stiffened. She wasn't going to block nothing. She showed mercy on her. Decided not to throw hammer fists. She could have jumped on her and got at least one hammer fist off. We all know that. But she was out. Now, I talked about the other two fights. What was it? Cavalcante. A decent striker. But, look at that fight. Imagine if she would have got a one-strike knockout. How much more that performance would have been appreciated. So, yeah, it is what it is. She stole the night. She stole the moment. And she's a character. Again, how dare you be that confident? The Joker? And don't play dumb, ladies. She's not randomly choosing the Joker as her moniker, or what is it? Her nickname. It's like an alter ego at this point. A lot of these fighters with their nicknames, Bullet, all this kind of stuff, like an alter ego that they have. Sort of like a lot of these musicians. Right? They turn into the Joker during the fight. But yeah, we'll see if somebody can humble her. She got a lot of tough fighters that she could potentially face. She got a major mountain to climb, if you ask me. If she gonna fulfill what she's talking about, which is taking the title and basically saying, I'm gonna do it undefeated. I'm not about to go to, I'm not gonna have to learn from losses. Fighters lose. Oh, I'm glad I lost. I learned so much from it. No, you would have rather not have lost. It's good that you learned some lessons from the loss. That, maybe you feel like you're a better fighter now, but you would have rather learned those lessons without taking that L. So we'll see if she can pull that off. Right. Reyes beat Jones. A lot of people think Reyes beat Jones. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people feel like that. But the thing is, if it's not official, that fighter still has their aura intact, and they're still more valuable, in the eyes of like sponsors and stuff. Because a lot of these fighters, their brand is based off them being undefeated. That's where their shine is coming from. You gotta have that. Floyd wouldn't have been who he was had he been taking L's. It's like a marketing strategy. It's a way to increase your wealth. It's like an investment. They can pull it off. If you can stay undefeated and profess that you're the best at the same time while you're proving it, that's movie level stuff. That's Hollywood stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it's like Suarez, fighters like that. You don't want to find yourself on the ground with some of these fighters. I know she has a submission victory. Wang Cong, she got a submission victory. But is she really a high-level ground fighter like Suarez, somebody who's been on the ground their whole life? Like, you just don't speak confidently about potential opponents. I mean, I don't know, but I would imagine it's like a different world on the ground with somebody who's been doing it since they were like 5 years old. If you just took it up a few years ago, man, hey, it'll be impressive. If she can overcome a lot of these fighters with far more experience on the ground, yeah, that'll be a surprise, if you ask me. Even Valentina, she got a lot of experience on the ground. And she said the same thing, and she had said she had the same experience that Kong got in Sambo. Or was it judo? Shevchenko might have been judo. Maybe Sambo too. I haven't looked at her resume. But we will see. What is Sambo about? Sambo is those trips, if I'm not mistaken. Sambo involves a lot of trips. So we'll see. That's a complaint I have with a lot of these wrestlers too. They don't use enough trips. A lot of women in general, they don't use enough trips. Yeah, Victoria Leonardo is I don't understand how she even got into the UFC. Honestly. They seem to be signing fighters, at least a lot of female fighters, just to fill the roster. Because right now, women are seen more as like a sideshow. Like some of their, I don't know. I don't know. There are a lot of fans who don't care for female fights. A lot of female fights are riddled with comments about how, lunch break, smoke break, and stuff like this. But we'll see. Yeah, right. Fashion Manon. These other girls had to hit Victoria several times, and she still wasn't knocked out cold. Silva hit her with hard kicks. She wasn't knocked out like that. Now maybe it's the accumulation of punishment. Maybe she take a lot of shots in sparring too. She is easy to hit. But who knows? Now, if she knocks somebody else out, if she knock out more fighters, then she got genuine outsized power. Unusual power, you know. And we'll just have to acknowledge that. That's what that is. But there's a lot of, I mean, Andrade, on a good night, Andrade can almost kill somebody. You're not worried about her? But Andrade will probably get knocked out too, be honest. With her chin and the way she easy as it is to hit Andrade, yeah, I'd be worried for Andrade. You know, fighters like Rose, it's a headache to have to deal with some of these fighters. Manon especially. It seems like a troublesome style. You know, I usually don't co-sign with fighters who commit to a certain style, but hers seemed to work well for her. And any fighter have to fight her, I wouldn't be that confident. I'd be like, hey, good luck. Right? All right, let me get out of here. All right, and that's hopefully UFC won't have this taken down. I had like a split-second video in there. I'll see y'all on the next live stream.